Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. With me today is my co-host, Troy Brittingham.
Hello.
And D.
Hey, Jeffrey, Troy.
Chris is sitting out this episode because, you know, he's got a real big boy life to deal with, and we're just a bunch of silly boys playing games. Little boys playing silly games, yeah.
Extra silly.
Ooh.
Troy, do me a favor, hit the theme song.
No. Okay, now I will.
TB&J! Always the contrarian.
No, I'm not.
TB&J!
Pretty sure all the new listeners just left.
And this week, we watched the latest episode of Hawkeye. And Troy, you were very scared about watching the latest episode of Hawkeye, because I remember last time you said...
Yeah, I decided to give another Hawk try.
Another Hawk try.
Ooh, well placed.
The show that should have been called Bros and Arrows and is not called Bros and Arrows. And I'm
that
very
was a miss.
disappointed
That-
it's not called Bros and
Ooh,
Arrows.
that was quite the miss.
Hey. That arrow didn't fly
Archery
true.
humor.
hawk fly.
Archery humor.
Archery
Oh,
humor.
it didn't hawk fly. Okay. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we doing it?
Thumbs up, dude. I'm back. I'm back.
It's signs of life. I'm also thumbs up.
I'm a thumbs up, but begrudgingly so.
Okay. Why begrudgingly?
I like because they still wasted 2 episodes of a 6-hour shit, like
100%.
at best, like 6
One
it's still
third
just
of this
like
whole miniseries was wasted.
like just right, like I okay, you got halfway through it and you basically just finally told a single episode. And then the coolest things in this, right, we get the Children of Men shot, which was kind of highly publicized before this came out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Children of Men shot is like the spinning camera inside the car.
That's
a
good.
long. It's a great shot. That's what captured the thing. This is exactly what I talked about last week, which was like there was no cinematography that really like caught the eye or made this work and like did it. The closest thing that I think came to it was when they threw the Molotov cocktail in the
In the window.
and he caught it and threw it out, and I just don't think that shot landed in any kind of way. It was an interesting idea that just didn't, like, I would have, could they have done something else? Like, this show seems like you would have put a camera on the Molotov cocktail, watch, and like seen it come in and see him catch it and then see it go, like, you know what I mean? Like, that seems more the style of this type of
So, my
thing, and I think had they done that would have been like an interesting
Exactly.
look, and they did interesting stuff with the camera now, and it was good.
And you've pretty much highlighted my biggest complaint with this entire series is that it's labeled as Hawkeye. It's labeled as Marvel's Avengers and Disney Plus, but I don't feel that kind of level of production and polish that I'm used to from watching other Disney Plus shows. Like even Disney Plus Mandalorian, like that had such a layer of polish to it that we don't have here.
I don't.
Or we
I don't-
didn't.
You say like a layer of polish. Do you mean like polish? I would think of like a sheen, like kind of like the Marvel Disney sheen, and I think it perfectly. I think generally the first 2 episodes have the sheen. They have like the polish of it, but there was just it's just been bland lately. Like it all kind of looks marvelly.
You're using
I think
polish a little more,
I think
literally
the
than I
phrasing
meant it,
is a
but-
little different. Yeah, I think you mean like just like the like. No, I think usually Marvel doesn't have much of a style beyond being Marvel. Like it's like Disneyfying something. It's Marvelizing something. Like you have that kind of Marvel action stuff, and when Marvel is really good, they have a there's a pattern to it. You know, like the end game stuff. The Russo brothers do a good job kind of meshing it in a way, but they also have some stylized stuff. The Ragnarok stuff is really stylized and good. The Guardians of the Galaxy is really stylized and
Taika
good.
Waititi is really good at his job.
But some of the more bland ones, they just don't have that director behind them to make it intriguing. Although I think Spider-Man's were really good, and I'm not sure if they even have the same director. So it's a mixed bag sometimes. Like they I think Spider-Man is a good example of just kind of Marvel being Marvel, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I even put my finger on stylistically with that, except it works. But this stuff like this felt like a neat episode, right? So I
Yeah.
mean that part was good.
you're-
The opening was good.
You were talking about
Yeah, what else,
the
Ian?
car chase, and the car chase was it basically. Like, I mean, I know all of these were filmed way in advance, but it almost felt like a direct response to everything that we were saying about the first one, where it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's no sort of style. They don't do anything with the Christmas theme. Like, at least play Christmas music.
Right.
There's no like trick arrows or anything like that. And this is a
Oh, the
car
trick!
chase that
Oh,
has
the
trick
trick
arrows,
arrow!
it
The
has-
trick
it
arrow!
has,
The Pim.
They're playing Christmas music during it, and there's like a style to the like camera work, and you're like, oh, it's all
yeah.
the things we were asking for the other 2 hours to have.
I can't imagine why. And I do like what they're putting together with this is a redemption Christmas story. It actually does work for a Christmas like a lot of times, you can do the thing where you just place everything in a Christmas setting. I think
Oh wait, does that mean that the last episode is gonna drop right before Christmas? Isn't it gonna be like on the 23rd?
I think it's like right before, so it's 100% because he's doing the whole Ronin thing. Also, by the way, real quick snapshot back to the Scarlet Witch. Let me snap back to Scarlett Johansson's The Black Widow movie, and at the end credit scene where you get Yelena getting the Hawkeye image. If you go back to it, the image of Hawkeye of Clint Barton is in the Ronin costume.
Yes.
So Val and Yelena, that this makes sense now to be like, oh, Ronin has been in the news, so clearly that's going to bring her. And I'm willing to bet that that's maybe as early as next episode, but that seems to be the likely cause, obviously. And then and the other thing is how that's going to tie into Echo, who's introduced here, who's obviously also noted to be getting her own series, apparently. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a big thing, and I believe this is a amputee actress, and
Yes.
if you guys didn't notice, she has the and also is deaf.
Yep.
In real life. So this is really cool.
It's a cool villain.
Very cool. And she's actually played the character has been Ronin in the comic books. So it's an interesting kind of mix in all this. But also the big other thing here is that who is her uncle, and that's if they're hinting at the D'Onofrio reveal, or is it not? Is it a new Kingpin? But it really felt like Daredevil. So that whole thing really did feel like Daredevil,
They
on
actually
the Marvel series.
resurrected
So.
Michael Duncan Clark for the Ben Affleck.
So here's the thing, right?
So tone deaf.
I have a theory. I have a theory.
Got a theory. It could be Bonnie's.
So Maya / Echo is already confirmed she's getting her own Disney Plus show, which is great. However, I think that they keep alluding to like her big boss, her uncle that's never seen. That could very well be Kingpin. However, when Ronin is killing her whole squad and her dad in that flashback, it happens at Fat Man Auto Repair, and my first guess was Wilson Fisk. And I think that even if Fisk is not the mystery boss man, I think he may have put Ronin on the trail of this group so that they would kill Kingpin for him, and that might start some crime boss drama, and that could be what Maya's show is about. It could be putting Fisk against Kingpin, and then we have more Daredevil-y styled stuff. That's my harebrained tin hat theory at the moment, but because I have no proof for any of this aside from a hunch. But I feel like Fisk is going to show up.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Well, who do you think Wilson Fisk is?
Is he Kingpin?
He's Kingpin.
Wait.
Oh my gosh. That entire time.
Two separate characters.
I was like, do I have this wrong? And
I've always heard Fisk.
Holy crap. Wow. Good.
That was a perfect record scratch. Me. Good job.
Jesus.
I'm going to cut that, actually.
You're the worst. Don't cut that.
I think you're right, though.
Everybody should know how poorly you prepare.
I'm a bad Marvel fan. I'm more of a DC guy.
The entire time as you were saying that, I was like, am I wrong about this?
And then you Googled it?
Yeah.
And usually Troy is right to think so, but
Yeah, usually I'm very wrong about things.
no,
All right,
it's-
so-
I'm dumb.
no, it is. We're usually right, Troy. I feel like, and the other two are usually wrong.
So
So
that's fine. I'm just
so
gonna-
so
gonna
yeah,
sit
so
here
so they're
quietly.
the same. They're the same.
That doesn't mean that they can't fight each other.
Shut up.
Wow. Wow.
I do like the character of Echo. I like how she got set up to not necessarily be a bad guy, and they spent the whole like cold open of this episode trying to make us really feel for her and feel that Ronan is the bad guy for murdering her very nice dad, who was trying to just to make his daughter grow up strong in this world where she's clearly at a natural disadvantage. And I believe in the comics she had photographic reflexes, right? She could mimic anything that she
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
Which kind of feels taskmastery, especially after watching Black Widow months ago. But I mean, it's
This definitely feels like what I think Taskmaster is more supposed to be. Even her character is kind of built this way. But it seems like she, I think what they try to tell in that opening scene is just that, like, she's so seemingly observant that she's like the reverse of Daredevil. Like, it compensates for her lack of hearing. That, like, she can see people's lips move so perfectly. She can kind of see so much that she can kind of sound those things out. Now, I think it's because she lost her hearing, I think, but I don't know. That maybe I'm not clear on that, but like it did seem like she was like losing her hearing, not that she was always deaf, which is why she doesn't sound why she can sound out things correctly.
that is curious. And I was watching this with my fiance last night at the time, and her first guess was that she was in like a tragic accident as a child, and that's why she has the prosthetic leg as well as being deaf.
That makes sense.
However, she does ask her father, what sound does the sky make? And I feel like you would know that unless you were a baby when the accident happened.
No, she's pretty small in that scene, right? So if it happens around then, I'm thinking that like no, maybe I mean that must be like the start of school. So like maybe that's a good point. Like that doesn't jive with it, does it? Because that is a question that like you wouldn't get. So but she does talk, right? Or does she not?
No,
she
she
only
doesn't
sign.
talk at all. She's always
Okay, so
signing
then-
and laughter.
So then maybe she can't. So then I'm wrong on that. Then
I don't know if she was. My guess is that she was born with it, but I don't remember Maya's
Maybe
origin.
Maybelline?
Thank you, Troy. My guess is
She's getting a lot of presents though, regardless. Because like
absolutely, she's such a strong character, and not even just like her on screen. Her presence is like intimidating and foreboding. I really got that feel from her.
Yeah,
Once
I
again,
have that
another
image.
Another thing that's an improvement from the last two episodes is like, oh, now there's actually like a noticeable villain in this show. Like Jack kind of is. But like Jack's
you know what
like
Kate Bishop feels like to me? No joke. It feels like early Ant-Man when he stumbles on the Pym stuff and doesn't know what it is.
And there's even a Pym arrow.
And there's a Pym arrow, and he's just like joking around about it, and then Hank has to come by and be like, "All right, I'm gonna teach you how to use my fucking suit."
I do hope that like
exactly what it feels like to me.
I do kind of hope that like Hank Pym is kind of the de facto Stark in the post Stark era, like where like he's like shit, now I gotta give these guys new tech all the time, and
if it means we get more Michael Douglas, I'm all for it. I fucking love Michael
just
Douglas.
curmudgeonly upset. Now that his wife's back, he can start beating her in the show. So that's
Jesus, I
applause.
forgot about that. Oh man,
they've really strayed away from that in the movie.
they've really cleaned up Hank's image in the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Although
I mean,
just like Chris Christie.
but let's be real serious. Like Michael Douglas is the perfect cat.
Yes,
the classic '90s miscon. It's all the shows that are kind of like males behaving badly.
I
is
missed
Michael
that show.
Douglas.
Was that on Showtime or Cinemax?
It's called Spike's TV's Mansers.
Mansers.
It was called the '80s.
The 80s. Men behaving badly. We'll be right back.
Two guys
Scamps.
being bros. Bros being bros.
Okay,
so
dudes being guys. All right, so
dudes being guys,
just
guys
dudes
being dudes.
Guys. We do.
Welcome back to Guys Being Dudes.
The majority of this episode is meeting Echo and her criminal organization. We assume it's criminal, right? Actually, no, it is the Tracksuit Mafia.
It's gotta be.
Okay, I was gonna say because like
Well, if we ever find out who this fat man is, and maybe he can fight Wilson Fisk or the Kingpin.
you brought it back, so I can't edit it out. God damn it! God damn it! Just cross out that timestamp. All right, whatever.
Yep.
So, God damn it. It's her and her associate, whose name is Zach. It's not Zach. It's definitely
Zach
not
Morris. Zach Morris.
I forget his name. But
Kano.
Shut up.
Is it Kano? No, I think it's Kazi.
Kazi, thank you. I knew it was something.
Kazuya from Tekken?
No, but we meet Echo and Kazi primarily, and we find out, like, I'm watching this with my fiance, and she's like, wow, the Tracksuit Mafia looks intimidating, but they're really incompetent, aren't they? And I was like, yeah, I think that's kind of their whole thing, is that they fucking suck.
Yeah, they're the fake joke villain. They're like the Team Rocket.
So do you know what? They almost did.
They almost went to an Imagine Dragons concert, is what they almost did.
No, well that was great. No, what they did here, and like I was saying, the Tracksuit Mafia was very tame. I felt like in the first couple episodes, I was like, no, they're actually really fun in the comics, and I felt like we got a little bit of that here because what makes them fun is that even though they're these low level whatever, and they are kind of lovable in certain areas, you hear about like this guy with his Imagine Dragons concert and that whole thing, like that actually tracks like pretty well, and is fun, right? But then immediately after that, you get the one guy come up, and he's like, "What if I just punch you in the stomach, or shut your mouth for you, or like cut your tongue?" He says that it gets like real dark for a second before Echo immediately comes out, and I wish they had kind of sat in that for a little bit because no, they are supposed to be like, oh no, like shit, they do have him over the barrel, and they are kind of like threateningly intimidating at various points.
They're still dangerous criminals.
Yeah, so like even though they're a joke, they suddenly they are a problem, and at any given point they could. So they did a good job, I think, in this episode of leaning into that a little bit. But I think that it had to give way to Echo, who I don't think is part of the story in the comics,
right?
Of Hawkeye. At least not at this point, and not with the Tracksuit Mafia. So I think they're meshing that a little bit, and they had to literally give way to it. But whatever. I don't know what kind of
it's one of
story
those things.
here.
It's like another kind of like Civil War-y kind of thing, where it's like it's based off of the comic in like sort of a concept more than it is like
which I'm absolutely fine with, because not every excuse me, not every hero was exactly a home run in the Marvel cinematic or the Marvel comic universe. So if they take an idea and style it up, like fucking,
are you trying to shit on Stiltman?
No, I'm trying to shit on like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, who was alive for like 12 minutes before getting unceremoniously killed by Magneto, and then for Deadpool they just like make her this gigantic character. So like I'm fine with Marvel doing that. It's their own shit. If they want to zhuzh it up for the modern era, go for it. Who's gonna really fucking bitch about making characters better? Like, don't do
me.
that.
I want the characters that I don't like. Don't make them better.
If they completely wash Hank's comic history and just make him this stand-up guy who becomes the new Stark,
I don't think they're ever gonna. I think they might do like alternate universe stuff where he's like a piece of shit. I think that they're just gonna
like in What If, where he murdered the Avengers.
He's got a few bad. He also starts the zombie apocalypse too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
they really were like, yeah, he's bad here.
I mean, don't forget Hank was a piece of shit, but like in the new universe, he's the new Tony, and we're all gonna love him, right? Actually, he's less of a Tony and more of like a Q. I don't see him like suiting up to go out anymore. I feel like he's just gonna be in the lab.
They might do some like half and half of like he's the tech side of Tony, and I think that Strange might sort of be like the personality side of Tony.
Oh, absolutely. And then
I think that's the reason they paired them up in Infinity War.
Jesus, sorry, my throat. Forgive me because I skipped Falcon Winter Soldier.
So does that mean Michael Douglas is in the next Spider-Man movie?
Yeah. Is anybody actually going to take up like the Iron Man mantle? Is anyone going to get into that suit again?
They're going to have Iron Wars, I think.
There's Armor Wars, which is a show about Rhodey. And then there's gonna be
well, I think it's gonna be that's gonna be Ironheart is the go ahead.
Yeah, that's a newer character that they made that is that's a woman who basically it's like a young woman who becomes like an Iron Man like
protege,
protege apprentice sort of thing.
I think she's actually led by his there's like an AI that leads her. That's like a Tony AI that like gives her advice, but like and she was actually, I think, like, yeah, like MIT, like she was just like super, similar kind of like she's a genius and that kind of stuff, engineer.
Okay.
It was a neat thing. It was like a African American girl. I forget her name.
Riri Williams.
Riri Williams, right? So yeah, it's a neat little storyline that they're probably going to pull in at some point. But the Armor Wars is also kind of like that's an Iron Man story, but like but you're usually dealing with like a lot of the side characters. So you have all the different like tech companies. You know, you get your Oscorp, your Silvermane, whoever he ran, the Justin Hammer stuff. Shield might be involved. You know, so like I think it's where I think you're gonna get the blonde one from Captain America, she's now like the
Agent
broker,
Carter.
the Power Agent Carter. Well, no, the other one.
I was.
I think that's going to be in there. But by the way, real quick, getting off topic here anyway. Hawkeye's trick arrows.
Yes.
So we get a putty. I got them. The putty arrow, the plunger arrow, the exploding arrow, a bola arrow. I don't know what that is.
That's the one that ropes all the trees to them.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. Yeah,
like a bolo.
The acid arrow, which like knocks out the lights, right?
Which was useless. What was that for?
I think it was so that I think it was to cause a traffic jam behind them as they got through.
Maybe, but it didn't work.
It didn't show that off very well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe what it was doing was like freezing traffic or something so they could just plow through, because I think they run through the intersection at that point. And I think that like maybe that's the only thing I can think of is that I remember they drop the things and then they run through the intersection. So my guess is that like the dropping of the lights kind of makes traffic just stop because they're like, what the hell? And then they can pass through with realistically not getting hit. I guess. I don't know. I like it always boggles my mind when there's a car chase in the middle of a busy city. I'm like, dude, have you ever driven in a city like that?
Yeah,
like
fat?
Like it's impossible. Like anywhere. But like then you get like so right there. I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe they're trying to explain how they navigated some of the things. So fine. But then they end up on that bridge before the arrow drops, and like literally they run up to a line of traffic in front of them. There's no one behind them. It's like it didn't make any sense.
I would love to see like. I'd love to.
Now,
see,
granted,
like,
they did crash. Like, wouldn't that arrow from
that would
have ripped through the bridge
Yeah,
completely? It didn't make any sense. I was like, it literally exploded the car, which was awesome. But like,
no,
yeah,
the whole
I feel
scene
like that
is
would be
awesome. But you think about it for 2 seconds afterwards, and you go, oh,
yeah. They never pan back to that
die.
arrow.
Yeah, this is Manhattan in Christmas time. Where's the traffic? There's no fucking way that bridge is empty.
I would love to see a like a realistic traffic jam car chase done by like an Edgar Wright or something like that. Like in a Hot Fuzz kind of way, where it's just like people in traffic and they're moving like 2 feet.
They just get out. They just start getting out and running at that point. That's the thing. Is like it doesn't. You can't, because it's anybody that actually wants to catch you is going to get out of the car and run faster to catch you.
You do what most action movies starring Jason Statham do / James Bond. Not to imply Statham is Bond. I want to make that.
Is that news? Is that breaking? Is that a tepid
a
poll?
really bad British accent.
No. You get on motorcycles and you ride down alleyways and side streets, and that's how you do it. That's how you get through New York City.
No,
you have a car chase that's not in New York City.
I want to see a like a comedy where they just don't get out of the car, but they're also like you play like extreme like chase music, and then they're just like gridlocked.
Oh, what were you saying, Troy? I wasn't. What was that? Were you saying something? No, just kidding. And the most powerful. All right.
Sorry, that really tickled me. I'm sorry. The trick arrows were really cool.
Yeah, the trick arrows, but the USB arrow. Yes, that's true. The USB arrow is minimized here, which is funny because I think it's a callback to.
It's pronounced USP.
The USB, the USP. arrow is used in the first Avengers movie as one of the few things that Hawkeye actually does in the beginning of the first half of the film, or the first two acts, where he actually shoots a USB port to send a virus into the entire.
What?
That's the first Avengers movie. You don't remember this? He shoots a USB arrow, it goes right in there.
When it came out, I haven't watched it since.
It's like one of the few things it is, and so they're making a joke about it there. But there's also the second time it's used. In What If, where it uploads the virus to Ultron.
Oh my gosh!
And so it literally saves the day. So
That's
and then
hilarious.
it's made completely useless now. Although I do feel like that would still hurt getting hit with.
I mean,
more
it's,
than that
You
guy
can't
just
play
shrugs it.
anything moving that like the plunger arrows would still kind of hurt.
yeah, it's still like an arrow moving at, I imagine, terminal velocity. If it's going fast enough to pierce like flesh and kill someone, it's gotta, like, even if the tip isn't pointy, it's gonna hurt. It's like getting hit with like a beanbag round. It's still gonna fucking hurt, even though you're not gonna die.
Right.
You're gonna get like a nasty welt or a bruise or something. But the trick arrows were very nice. It was nice to see the two of them working together, and I think there's more to Clint's story as far as his hearing goes, because Echo was very keen to like point out he'll be better off without a hearing aid, and you'll be better off being completely deaf, and then he loses it. I thought it would stay lost for like the rest of the show or something, but then he ends up getting it fixed, and I was like, well, maybe he does like take it out for parts of it. Maybe he like gets more in tune with that side of himself and tries to heighten other senses. I don't know, but it was interesting to see that happen.
I did like their sort of relationship when the actual like hearing aid was broken.
Yeah.
And it was they couldn't. At one point she's like, yeah, I have to take that dog out. We didn't.
Yeah, and
we,
then like
like,
I'm saying,
that
later,
was
he's like,
funny.
hey, we should walk the dog. He's been cooped up all day.
like they're having like the same
No.
conversation just past each other.
Yeah, that is so funny, and that was another part of the charm of the comic, like that type of dialogue where they were playing on the deafness of Hawkeye, and how he was dealing with that and constantly like not hearing it. So you get that kind of like old bickering couple kind of like dynamic with a protege dynamic as well. So it's a father-daughter, but they're kind of like a bickering old couple. So it's neat. I like it. It's that part of it is what makes it work. Man, I feel like the Haley Stayfield, is that her name?
I believe
the actress.
something like that. Yeah.
She's like, I think she's perfectly good for this role. I'm wondering, like, at what point does she? Because she came into the scene like kind of in Pitch Perfect or something like that, and she was literally like 18 or 19 years old. Like she was, so she's been, yeah,
Steinfeld,
she's been around.
Steinfeld.
It's literally Steinfeld.
Steinfeld. Yep.
Okay, it's like Seinfeld, but Steinfeld.
Yep.
But like,
Thank you, Trey.
yeah. So, yeah, she's good. I feel like at some point they said she was like 22 or something, or 20. I don't know. She's like 24 in real life. I feel like at some point, is she going to be believably young? As a character, is that? Or I mean, I guess, not to say that like, but I mean like I feel like her character should be like a teenager. I don't feel like she should even be like 22. I feel like she should probably be like 18 in the comics, like because she's supposed to be like a young Avenger, like a kid. But I don't know. I don't really care that much. I think she's playing the character well. So in the end, I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, I think everybody's doing good performances in the show, and it's been fun. But that trick arrow that takes out the thing was probably the highlight, and then the hinting at Fisk. But like, I'm hoping that's a big. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I did feel like this was so hinting at that, and I would love to see D'Onofrio return. So I don't know how I'll feel if they do something different or what it could be or otherwise. But like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of writing on the wall that says it's going to be Vincent D'Onofrio.
Aren't there rumors that Matt Murdock might be in Spider-Man?
There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's all this speculation on
or
this.
Maybe Daredevil, depending.
Right. You could literally have at
And then
some
maybe
point.
Matt Murdock and Daredevil can fight.
Right.
Maybe.
Here's the thing: is I think that you're not going to get that because I think the whole like legal issues, which is like with that movie, are going to be like over pretty quick. Because what it seems like to me is that like they do the whole thing where it's they'll probably start the movie with his going to talking to the cops and stuff, and then he'll eventually be just acquitted. But now he's in the public eye, and that's where I think they basically start the previews for this movie where they're already dealing with the fallout of it. Like he's clearly free. He's not like seemingly wanted for arrest. They've likely cleared his name, but everybody knows who he is. So that's what it seems like. Like he's not like wanted for murder, for instance. Like I think that's where they also left it. So I don't think that like because that'd be kind of fucked up if like he goes like, hey, if he's going to Strange to get out of a murder rap.
Yeah.
I get the idea of him going there to say, hey, I don't want people to know my secret identity anymore. But like, just it'd be weirder if he was still dealing with like, yeah, can I just get out of this whole situation? I swear I didn't kill him.
It seems really strange that like nobody's really put 2 and 2 together yet that Hawkeye is Ronin. Because like I guess we as the audience know it because we watch the fucking Avengers movies. But like when Kate was asking him about it, like, why are you so protective of this guy? You got to keep his identity safe, right? It's like, you're supposed to be like a genius that went to Harvard. Like, how have you not like figured this the fuck out yet? It's like the same problem I have with like the police in Gotham. Like Batman solving this stuff, and it's
He's
like
got half his face.
yeah, and it's like, well, Batman is figuring this crime out, and like we, the reader, follow it real well. How has the entire police department not figured this out? Like, it's just, it feels like they're doing that willfully ignorant comic book thing, especially when Echo was like on the verge of making him say it.
It's because they're corrupt. It goes all the way to the top.
Sure, thank you, D. But it feels
It's
like
well, I mean, honestly, in Gotham City, isn't that often the case? Like, isn't
not
that
wrong.
half the issue is that like they don't want to get him caught? And I
You're
think
not
that's what
wrong.
they're saying. I mean, that's like half the theme of these things is like a vigilante justice is that the system doesn't work, and when they can't get these guys because they don't want to get them or they don't or it's normal forces don't work for certain types of criminals, and
yeah.
you get all those themes out of it is like what begets violence, all that kind of stuff. So
I think at the end of this show,
fine.
we are gonna realize that like the world is going to figure out Ronin and Hawkeye are one and the same, and we're gonna have.
He has to atone, right?
He definitely has to atone for what he did as Ronin, and then Kate will take up the mantle as Hawkeye. And that'll be the new Hawkeye as far as Avengers movies are concerned, and then we'll have our
he's like
new
3
cast.
times retired at this point. He's like retired more than Brett Favre in these movies.
Troy with the fucking sports reference. I wasn't expecting that today.
I mean, I know everybody knows Brett
Hang on,
Favre.
let me fill out my bingo card real quick.
Brett Favre for Favre.
Favre.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's good. So
He's
all right,
good.
So,
Hot take, everybody.
So all right, so we are not being really fun today. I feel like we should do stupid things. No.
This whole podcast is a stupid thing.
Oh right,
kidding?
forgot. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, good, fair enough.
Do you want more Hawkeye puns?
My man will be here for this episode.
Should we just all do characters? Should we have Mudman, the Ticketmaster, and Bigfoot all do an episode? Is that
Are we
just all-
creating the TB&J cinematic universe?
Are you the Ticketmaster?
the PU, the podcast universe. PU.
Oh,
Oh no!
Yes, I
Bad.
love it. Oh God, I love
bad.
it. It's
Okay.
so terrible.
So
Is
anything
this
with
what you were looking
the
for? Is this what you wanted?
Yeah, this is what I wanted. No, I just. No, I think I just don't have it. Like regardless of all those things, I'm not like super excited. I'm hopeful that this was good. This was good. I wish it was the first episode.
Yeah, this it
but,
feels like
you know.
okay, we're going somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sick of like speculation though. I hate like you can't just like hint at characters that might come in. Like that can't be your thing.
Yeah.
Like that. Like if you're gonna give me something, give us something. Like do it. Like it's fine if you want to introduce new characters. And it just, I mean, granted, we are getting the new Hawkeye in this, right? So like that's the key feature. But like it usually makes sense to have like the new character maybe bring in the villain character and Marvel is so seemingly devoid of villains, though they're fucking ripe with them in Spider-Man. But granted,
Yeah.
all of them are kind of Sony properties, so that's not going to work.
They're all ex-dead villains, and Sandman. I don't know what's going on with Sandman. There's a line in the trailer where they're like, all of them have been killed by Spider-Man. Sandman doesn't die, and
Sandman wasn't killed.
Well, there's also a question as to whether these are literally the same multiverse.
It's
versions.
also true. Yeah,
are
because Jamie
they...
Foxx isn't blue.
Right.
Yeah.
And
well,
cool.
or no, I think they're going to explain that to some degree with like Stark tech, because he has like a Stark. They all kind of he has a Stark reactor in the one shot, and he says you're not going to take this away from me.
Yeah.
And I think it like regulates him so he's not like,
he's not a danger to himself anymore.
So what you're saying is they got rid of my favorite scene is when he drops into they're raiding out a cannon when he drops into the vat of electric eels and then explodes.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it fixes the gap in his teeth for some reason.
That was my favorite part. Yes. But I think he was like pure electricity.
Too, everybody.
I think he was like pure electricity in that, and I think that's like an evolution of the character that they wanted to ground, literally, in this one.
Hey, what's up?
Electricity humor.
Funny story, actually. Friend of the pod, John, he diehard loves Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, and thinks Andy Garfield gets a bad rap for those movies. He was incredible.
He's fine.
Oh, no, he's fine.
Just the movies are not the best.
The movies are not the best. Andrew Garfield's fine. He's a great Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I think that, like, it's an update of the character, and it's not really him. It's fine to have him that way. It's fine. I think he was a little too badass, for lack of a better term, in high school.
I think he'll be great as a multiverse version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's fine. He's just, but he looked like no one looked better in the suit than him. No one looks more like Spider-Man than him.
I've heard it said before that Toby was a better Peter and Andy was a better Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think that's a fair point. But I think that Tom Holland mixes, that it's literally an interesting thing.
Because he's a fucking 26-year-old man who looks perpetually 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Michael J. Fox of like this era.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so I hope it doesn't end that way. But
oof. No.
Not that it's over, Mikey. We love you. Stay strong, bro. You're the man. I really do.
Michael
love
J. Fox, if you're
he's
listening,
such an inspiration.
If you're listening in 1985 or 2015,
nothing bad to say about him. Nothing bad to say about him.
No,
yeah. In the future, 2015. Oh my God. If we want to get serious though, I took out my entire Transformers collection. That's how.
Wow.
No, so we were so drunk that I put on the Transformers movie and the 86 one, and as each character showed up, I brought it in, and I think it was they're dying. I was like, they were like, what the hell?
For anybody who doesn't know, D owns about 9 million Transformers.
Yeah, and they're and to his credit though, they are all tastefully displayed in battle poses.
Well, they were at least. It sounds like they're no longer.
Oh yeah, they're on the floor right now.
What was that giant space station one that you got that was like it transformed into? What the fuck is it?
It's the ship that they came in on.
Okay, and the ship itself is a transformer.
What's the one we're making fun?
There was Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme. That was the first episode.
Yeah, the sex toy.
Omega Supreme, the sex toy, right?
I remember that.
That was so good. It literally is just a rocket, so there's no way someone's not fucking themselves with that.
Jesus Christ!
It didn't. I never transformed into that. I always liked the bot.
Yeah.
But he could definitely fist. He can definitely still fist you and expand.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ!
He has like a 3-pronged hook hand. I was like,
the blue part of the podcast.
Well, now we need to know which Transformer you would fuck.
I mean, he's
Megatron.
golden choice.
Megatron.
I mean, he's got that cannon.
I want to fuck Megatron, but I want to fuck old school Megatron who turns into a Walther P-38 handgun. I want to fuck little Megatron. I don't want to fuck like giant like army jet Megatron from the movies.
Stick a gun up your ass?
And listen, man, what I do in my spare time is on.
Hey, don't
on
kink
me.
shame. Don't kink
Yeah,
shame.
come on now. I'm an American. How else am I supposed to get off? I need a gun to do it.
If you're getting off with the gun without a gun in your hand, I
You
mean,
ain't- you ain't even
well,
American.
you're European.
Yeah,
Basically European.
this is America, Troy. I need a gun in order to ejaculate to the fullest potential.
I can't go to the bathroom without a gun in my hand.
Yeah. Hey. I'll give you a little grim shot for that. This got real.
I mean, when I shake, I let off a couple rounds at least.
Jesus Christ.
Gotta let people know I'm finished. I mean, how do you do it?
How do you do it, Troy? What's your gun of choice when you heading off to do the deed?
I don't trust the public bathroom if it ain't got a couple bullet holes under the urinal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
At least a couple.
Troy, you struck me as a revolver kind of man. You got one of that Magnum 357s in your pants.
I don't know anything about guns. I want everybody to know that I know nothing.
You've
about
played
guns.
so much Siege. How do you not know anything about guns?
I know them as Ella's gun and Sledge's gun.
He knows more about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I know how many.
Oh, so these guns?
Yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I know how many plus frames my real life punches have.
A lot.
Just give me your fucking lunch money, kid. Come on. I'm not.
You don't want to know. You don't want to hear about footsies and meaties and.
What I think is that you need to thank some people.
I do need to thank some people, but before I do that, I want you guys to make a prediction.
I'd like to thank God.
Prediction: does Clint Barton make it home for Christmas?
That's a good question because I know what story they're telling. I'd be awesome if they killed him. I mean, he killed a lot. He killed a lot of people. It's a redemption story.
Even beyond killing a lot of people, isn't it like a little behind the scenes inside baseball talk? But like, isn't Jeremy Renner like supposedly getting really hard to work with?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know how hard to work with.
I don't think so.
I know there's like some sort of things of like he's not sort of like in the right mental headspace apparently, but I don't know what.
That's not a secret, but that's fine.
Mm,
You can be as crazy
listen,
as
I'm
you
not
want,
gonna.
Rich.
I'm not gonna.
I don't think that would be necessarily associated with it. There could be plenty of reasons that they, or they're just done with the character and they want to. They really don't need specifically him to be Hawkeye. Like, yeah, everybody is gonna get out of this. Why not have this story and be the end of it, and you have a new Hawkeye in Kate Bishop. So fine. It's not that. It's just that complicated. It's really and you're really trading off the actors here, and
you can't have him perpetually coming out of retirement forever.
So it makes sense that like all this stuff that it would be worth it. It's a little bittersweet though, and it definitely is like a really sad note to end this story on. Because of the family. Like, jeez.
Sorry, my computer hit a button.
I have a very exact theory. I think that he will make it home for Christmas
and then have a heart attack.
And it's like the last scene.
His kid scares him to death and jumps out. Oh!
No, but
he gets stuck in the chimney.
I didn't hear you
pretending to be Santa. Pretending to be Santa, he gets stuck in the chimney.
I think he's gonna make it home for Christmas.
Gremlin story.
He's gonna have that whole scene with his kids and everything and then I think something else is gonna go wrong.
And then he'll die.
Yeah.
You think that we're gonna wrap this up with a neat little bow, and then Vincent D'Onofrio comes out of nowhere at the end, and he's like, "You didn't think you could get away with this, did you?" And then he gets his
or whoever like the villain of the show isn't dead, and then like does.
So like as again, real quick, as a guy who didn't actually watch Endgame or Infinity War, is Clint kind of an asshole?
Not really.
Like,
no,
we're talking like he's gonna get killed for what he did as Ronin, but like, and I understand
he just killed a lot of people when he was down the dumps.
He killed a bunch of bad people, and I think the other way that they do, like, so what I think they're trying to set up right now is that he is that Echo's father, whoever, like that when he was killing this group, like he killed innocent people, right? And what I would say is that, based on everything that Rhodey said in the movie, that, and I can't remember quite what, but like, it doesn't seem like he was being like, he was killing all the henchmen. Like he was just killing all the people. Like, so in those cases, like he could have killed all kinds of like more or less innocent people. Or is that what we're saying? Like, was it okay before this? Are we saying it was that oh yeah, he just killed these bad guys, so it's kind of okay? He put it behind him. It's not his fault. Or is he going to get anything for that? Or are they trying to say that he just killed this one guy, and that guy was innocent? And if they can prove that like actually it was set up and it wasn't actually him, it was somebody else in the Ronin costume, then like is he off the hook? Are they going to try to sell that shit like he's off the hook? And I'm just like I'm not following how much they're saying. Right. He's culpable. Like, what are they? Because it doesn't seem like right now that they're really leaning into like he did some real bad stuff. But like this episode at least showed you another side of it. But it feels like they're about to tell me that like that there's a the reason that Echo and he are going to fight is because he's been framed. That like it wasn't really him and it's like yeah, but. No, they showed us him just like killing and slaughtering like all kinds of people. Not just in that scene, like in Tokyo and in all the other places. Like he was killing indiscriminately. Like yeah, he was killing the big Yakuza guys, and you could maybe argue that the main henchmen there are like pretty bad dudes, but like what do I know?
I
like,
say just
like,
make him.
Are they saying that he perfectly killed only really bad guys, and we're technically saying that doesn't matter, or is he gonna? So I think he has some comeuppance, but I think they're also gonna. But I think the boss move would be right. Like, do the happy ending, he gets away with it, but then like a post credit is the Kingpin killing him as an introduction, and just being like, "Holy shit!" Like, no, but that would be great as a post credit because you literally do get the whole ending, and then if you stay around, you do get actually, holy shit, that's how it ends. That actually might work for me. But nothing else. So I
love how we just sold D on the rest of this entire show.
I figured that episode 5 would kind of be like, and here's the neat. Here's the wrap up to the villain stuff, and then there's like a whole 6th episode where they're like, well, now what? And it's like he does like a Christmas thing for the first half, and then a villain returns. But a post credit could also be not bad.
Yeah, it could work. It could work. Anyway, we will delve into that more when we get more clues and details in the next episode. For now, thank you, Troy, for joining me.
You're welcome.
Thank you, D, for joining me.
You are welcome, and thank you.
Thank all of you listeners for being here and for listening and being here listening to our bullshit about peeing with guns. If you like what you heard, go ahead and leave us a nice little review on your favorite little podcasting platform and give us 5 stars.
Don't forget to shoot your gun while you do it.
Don't forget to shoot your fucking gun as an American. And if you're not American,
that's actually what you want to do. Is
don't forget
to show everybody that you're listening to the TB&J podcast. As you're listening, just fire a few rounds off into the air.
Just shoot that subscribe button.
Shoot that subscribe button. I like that. I like the cut of your jib, D. Yeah,
coming on to me, boy.
Shoot that subscribe button. Shoot it so fucking good. And
pound it and shoot it.
And unless you live in one of them communist countries, it takes away your guns.
Yeah. And if you like what you heard, no, I already did that part. You can email us at tbandjpodcast@gmail.com.
Email whether you think they should have Wilson Fisk or the Kingpin in the show.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
yeah, Wilson Fisk or Kingpin, who's stronger?
Who would win in a fight?
Leave us a like on YouTube, comment, and subscribe on
comments.
YouTube because we're there, and follow us on Twitter. All the details are in the description. Just read it.
Do it.
Thanks.
Do it.
Bye.
Do it. Do it.